Hey everybody, I'm ZombieJohnny. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a comic book that completely blew me away. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin was written by Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, and Tom Waltz, and illustrated by Esau and Isaac Escorza, Ben Bishop, and Kevin Eastman. The Last Ronin had an original run from October of 2020 to April of 2022, and was published by IDW. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles began as a humble little comic book series in 1984, and then exploded onto the scene and became the massive franchise that we know today. I grew up in the heyday of the Ninja Turtles. The Saturday morning cartoons, the toys, I even still have Baxter sitting on my desk. The films that I watched over and over again, even the one where they introduced the girl turtle Venus, and that weird one that was a live rock and roll concert. Yeah, those were strange times. Anyway, let's move on to the topic at hand, The Last Ronin. The story begins with just one of the turtles. Which one? You aren't sure. No color assigned to this one, just a plain black headband. The turtle is slogging through the sludge and rubble on the outskirts of a heavily armed facility. The other turtles appear from the shadows to give some advice. The main turtle spots a motorcycle and decides to beeline it right for the facility's headquarters. The turtle makes it in with some fancy footwork and a little assistance from an explosive. The moment he sets foot inside, the Foot Clan is on him. He takes care of them quickly. The other turtles ask if these foot soldiers are humans or not, but something feels odd. The other turtles never appear in frame, only talking to him from the shadows. The turtle moves and taking out whatever security is thrown in his way. He makes his way to the main facility, with only some difficulty, stating that he is coming for Oroku Hiroto, who is the grandson of the Shredder, Oroku Saki. The turtle battles more and more, working his way to the top of the tower to find Oroku Hiroto, only to have Hiroto keep sending wave after wave of robot and Foot Clan member after the turtle. Finally, the turtle gets knocked out of the building by a large robot and plummets all the way back to the street level, miraculously surviving the fall and dragging his way back into the sewers to retreat as some teens distract the Foot Clan so the turtle has enough time to escape. The turtle stumbles his way through the sewers bloodied and battered, removing his gear as he walks. He sets all of his things in front of him in failure. He is just about to make the final sacrifice when he passes out from blood loss. Just then, the teen from earlier stumbles upon him in disbelief that he is one of the mutant turtles. And this is where our adventure begins. Much like Old Man Logan, this is the kind of story you want to see the turtles in. It's the badass growth of ninjas trained to kill, and finally we get the story that shows just how deadly these innocent little turtles can be when they finally grow into deadly adults. This is a story for people who grew up loving the Ninja Turtles needed. It's been in the back of every Turtles fan's mind for a long time. So this book feels like TMNT meets Sin City. It's dark, gritty, moody, and very stylistic. The line work is fantastic. I can't express enough on how amazing the illustrations look. Eastman even dedicates this comic to Sin City's creator Frank Miller. And this makes sense because in a previous review that I did of Frank Miller's Ronin, Kevin Eastman is cited as saying that he took major inspiration from this series. The team behind the fantastic illustrations are Esau and Isaac Escorza, Ben Bishop, and of course Kevin Eastman contributes illustrations himself. You can certainly tell which sections are illustrated by Eastman because they have this chunky vintage Turtles look to them. It is a very fitting use of Eastman's illustrations for the flashback sections of the story. I can't express enough how amazing this is because they're using the original artist of the Turtles in the most perfect way. Now, I am going to be moving on to some spoilers here because it's tough to explain what I mean without spoiling anything. So,
Spoiler warning ahead.
So with these spoilers, let's get into it. There is a lot of tragedy in this story. It isn't what you think it would be. Let's break the ice by getting into who the final turtle is. It's Michelangelo, my main man. Or turtle. I love Mikey, so the impact of this story hits even harder for me. I mean, really, he's the innocent one, the youngest at heart. Him having to put up with the rest of the gang, Leo, Raph, Donnie, Splinter, and even Casey Jones to fall to the Foot Clan. It's a heavy burden. And yeah, you heard that right. They fell to the Foot Clan during a peace treaty. They all fell victim to the Foot Clan's ambush. Not only are the turtles involved, but April is involved too. April is just another casualty in this bloody battle, losing an arm and a leg in the process. And, oh yeah, the scene where that random teen discovers Mikey in the sewers, it turns out that is Casey and April's teenage daughter, appropriately named Casey, after her father. So this isn't only a story of vengeance for just Mikey, but everyone involved. Casey seeks vengeance for her father, and April wants justice for her family, including the turtles themselves. So, throughout the story, the boys will come in and have some banter with Mikey and give advice as well. I'm not sure if they are just playing in the back of his head because the boys spend every waking moment together and he can always recall their voices or words, or they are projecting themselves on some sort of astral plane to give him advice. I don't think it's that, because, Master Splinter would have shown up and lent a hand as well, but I like the idea of the boys coming to their brother's aid through the spirit world. The other thing that makes me think this is true is that the ending kind of hints towards that as well. Alright, more big spoilers. Mikey ends up dying due to his wounds during the final epic battle, but he wakes up to his brother's voices in the spirit world, who are waiting for him. Everything for Mikey seems so real. It's just like he woke up from a bad dream and he's back with his family once again. And I gotta say, what a beautiful ending. This ending actually brought tears to my eyes. It was wonderful. Now, I have never read the original comic book series, or any other comic books to be honest, but after all this time, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird are still heavily involved in most Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related things. And that's refreshing to see. The original creators are still involved in their franchise, and still have influence to maintain continuity and quality. The version that I purchased is the hardcover version and is very much worth it. The price is great for a hardcover and it looks fantastic. So you don't have to shell out big bucks just for the hardcover version, and I would suggest getting the hardcover. It looks great on a shelf. Overall, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin is a fantastic comic from start to finish. From the illustrations to the story, it is worth the read, the price, and worth having in your collection. Total volumes, 1. Total page count, 224. Total score, 5 out of 5. This is a must-own comic.
Thank you so much once again, everybody, for watching. This one was an absolute blast to make because this series is just so good. I can barely even speak on how good it is. It just completely blew me away, like I said, and I suggest each and every one of you pick it up. Even if you're not a fan of the Turtles, it's still a really good story. I mean, there is kind of like a little bit of lore and backstory. You kind of have to know the characters, but if you're not even a huge fan of the Turtles, I suggest picking it up. It is worth having in your collection. Looks great on a shelf, as I said. The hardcover doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and it's definitely worth the price. So I suggest you pick it up. Once again, 5 out of 5. Must-own comic. In other news, we finally got the 500 subscribers special out. It's done. Finito. We did it. Thank you once again, everybody, for 500 subscribers. Completely unreal to me, once again. I burned quite a bit during the Pandora's Peanut. My mouth is on fire. And if you know anything about really spicy food, the next day is not so fun, if you understand what I mean. Anyway, thank you once again. I put out a short of Akira Toriyama's passing. I didn't think it was going to be as difficult as it was, but it's tough because, I grew up with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I grew up when it was coming to North America and becoming very popular. And, I was watching other YouTubers take on it, and they were saying I look around my room and I always see that there's stuff just memorializing him or his presence is always near. I'm like, oh, I don't really have anything like that. Then I totally forgot that pretty much every day I look at my Mutant Roshi Z Warriors mug, drink coffee out of it every day, and if you can see him, he's kind of back in here behind Baxter, but Goku, this Goku toy, he sits with me, Super Saiyan Goku, he sits with me every day. I've owned this since the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, so yes, Goku's with me every day. So, was kind of a tough one. Yeah, it's difficult. But in that order of things, Sandland, which I just that also kind of blew me away, was I was sitting on my PlayStation looking at the upcoming games, and I see Sandland. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? Because I thought it was supposed to be a film or an anime, and then all of a sudden I noticed that they are releasing a film and an anime. So Toriyama's legacy lives on. They're releasing a Sandland PS5. I think it's on all systems. I think Sandland video game in April, the end of April, and then they're also releasing in North America. I think they both came out in Japan already, but they're releasing an anime film, and then they're also releasing an anime, like a OVA, original video animation, I believe. And they're all coming out this year. I think they're coming out pretty soon in North America, to be honest with you. And it's just it blows me away that the Sandland stuff is coming out after so long of being teased that we're having Sandland stuff come out. And it's just like, wow, they're just diving headfirst into this property, just releasing everything all at once. So pretty exciting business there. Other than that, there isn't much news on my end. I got the 500 subscriber special out. That took me forever, but I got that out. It's done. And yeah, look out for more reviews coming up soon. Other than that, I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, and safe. I'm ZombieJohnny. Peace.